Some viewers may find the following video disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Alrighty, what is up, my artists? We're here for another Austin Artist review. If I sound shitty in this video, it's because I am going through some allergies right now. But nonetheless, we are here to review Loki Season 1 due to the fact that Season 2 comes out in a couple weeks as of this recording. So I don't really want to get too in detail with the intro. Might as well just get there and get started with the review. So on that note, let's get to Loki Season 1, Episode number 1 out of 6. On to it. Alright, Season 1, Episode number 1 of Loki. This episode was the start of the show, basically, well, it's Episode 1, so yeah, it's the start. But nonetheless, like, it starts off, first off, I'm gonna say this is my second viewing of Loki. I've only watched this once before, when it first came out, and, it still holds up so far, but nonetheless, it starts out with the scene in game where Loki escapes with the Tesseract, and basically he is sent to a certain amount, sometime in the past, where the Timekeepers, or the Minutemen as they call them, arrest Loki, and basically he like comes to the TVA. They take him to the TVA, which is basically where they sit there and control time and all this shit. Now, a couple things about this. The Miss Minutes character I heard, I'm pretty sure, is voiced by Tara Strong. So that's kind of cool. One thing about that, I'm not gonna really go into like extreme detail like some fucking Marvel people do, because like I like the show, but I'm not gonna go into so much fucking detail. Nonetheless, though, Loki gets put on trial and is basically sent to be reset, which they reset the timelines when things go awry. Basically it's explained to Loki via the video with Miss Minutes that he is a variant because he went on the path that the sacred timeline didn't proceed. Right, so basically he gets sent to be reset, but Owen Wilson's character, who is introduced, Mobius, or more, I think it's, I don't know. I know it's not Morbius, because that's fucking Jared Leto's character in the fucking Morbius movie. So I know it's not that. I think it's Mobius. But fucking, he sits there and he tells the judge, I could use Loki. And basically, he explains all this stuff to Loki about how the TVA works and how he could help, basically. And Loki is not understanding any of it. At one point, he sits there and tries to escape, and then he realizes when he sees the Infinity Stones in the drawer that he basically is in a powerful place, and that he can't. Basically, this place is stronger than anything that he's ever seen. And he comes to the realization that he doesn't want to go back to his timeline because of what happened with him dying and all the shit about him killing his mother and everything. So therefore he sits there and basically says he'll help Mobius, and basically he asks who they're even going for and how he could help. And Mobius basically explains that the reason that they need his help and the reason that he can help is because they are looking for the variant that's causing trouble. And the variant that's causing trouble is another version of Loki. So, this episode was pretty good. Great starter. You see, with these Marvel shows, I don't really... This is like the Marvel show that I still keep up with, because some of the other Marvel shows just don't fucking interest me. So, yeah. But, on that note, let's get to episode number 2 of Loki. Started out great. I'm looking forward to the rest of the season on my second viewing. And this is getting me hyped for season 2 of Loki. So, on that note, let's get to episode number 2. Alright, season 1, episode 2 of Loki, variant. This episode plays off from the last one. Basically, Mobius takes Loki into action, pretty much. They go to 1985, where another incident happens with the other Loki that they're trying to find. And basically, they fail that, and Mobius tells Loki, oh, well, go ahead and read these files, so that way we can figure out a way to find this variant and find everything. At first, Loki doesn't want to read the files, tries to read the files about the timekeepers and everything, but those are classified. And he finally does read the files about the variant, and he figures out that basically the variant is hiding in apocalypses. So, like, anything that's happening, like natural disasters and shit like that. So, basically, Loki tells Mobius this, and at first he's hesitant. Then they go to Pompeii, where a volcano is about to erupt, and basically he tests the theory, and it works. Basically, there's no like timeline splitting or anything like that with the sacred timeline when they go there and fuck everything up. So basically, they get clearance to go to this place in Alabama that's about to get hit by a massive hurricane. And basically, Loki, Mobius, and the Minutemen and women go ahead and fucking sit there, and they try to find the other Loki. They split up into 2 teams. Mobius takes half the Minutemen, and the leader of the Minutemen take fucking Loki. She's a Minute woman, so there's that. But nonetheless, basically, they're looking for the other Loki, and Loki finds them and enchants the Minute Woman and meets Loki, basically. And Loki tries to sit there and basically reason with the other Loki and try to make a deal to where they could overthrow the timekeepers. But the other Loki isn't having it, and basically fucks all of them over and says, this isn't about you, to Tom Hiddleston Loki. But nonetheless, basically, we find out that this Loki is a female Loki, which we don't know the name of yet. We will get to the name of it next episode, I believe. But she escapes. Mobius tries to get the other Loki, and Loki goes after the female Loki, which is the cliffhanger of the episode. I'm tired of saying Loki already. So there's that. But fucking, it's a good episode. I enjoyed it. But without further ado, let's get on to the next episode of Loki. Jesus, I keep it doesn't end when I'm saying it, bro. It just doesn't end. Let's get on to the next one, which is episode 3, which that way episode 3 will be halfway through the season. The Marvel shows are very short seasons, so at least this one is. I know WandaVision was longer, but yeah, this one's a lot shorter, along with the other one, some of the other ones too. But nonetheless, let's get to it. Alright, Season 1, Episode number 3 of Loki. This episode started directly after the last one left off, of course. And basically, it was about Loki and Sylvie, who we figure out her name, the girl Loki, Sylvie, as a relationship, pretty much. Basically, they build on their relationship because they are on Dementis, I believe, or Lamentis, sorry. They're on that planet, which is about to pretty much be destroyed, and basically they talk to each other, get to know each other. Basically, they're not very fond of each other because they're both Lokis, and they are trying to get off this planet, but the telepad is not charged, so they have to figure out a way to charge it to where they can get back on a different area of time. So basically, they go to this train and get themselves on a train without a ticket, pretty much, to get to the Ark, which is supposed to be the thing that's going to take everybody to salvation, I guess, from that planet. And basically, after they get on there, Loki gets drunk and blows their cover, so they get taken off the train. So then they try to go on to the Ark by foot to get the charge for the telepad. But by the end of the episode, they're fighting their way on to trying to fight their way to the Ark, but they are not in time, and the Ark gets destroyed and lifts off. So yeah, that was basically this episode. There's not much detail going into it because it's mainly just character development for both characters. I'm enjoying it. I'm not saying I'm not, but that's mainly what it was. That's why this review is a lot shorter than the last two. So yeah. But on that note, let's get to Season 1, Episode number 4 of Loki. I'm enjoying this so far. My second viewing has been a great experience. But on that note, let's get to it. Alright, Season 1, Episode number 4 of Loki. This episode was about basically after they were on Lamentus, fucking basically Loki and Sylvie thought they were gonna die and everything, and then they got caught by the TVA because they had feelings for each other. And then basically they both get captured, put in different rooms. Loki tells Mobius that basically fucking the TVA is lying to Mobius and everybody there, because the whole deal is the TVA kidnaps people and erases their memories to work for them, basically. And Mobius doesn't believe him at first, but then he tries to go on with his day and talk to the supervisor and everything, and realizes that basically they've been lying to him this entire time, and that the TVA has been kidnapping people. Same with the main guard of the Minutemen and Women. She basically realizes, after she got enchanted a couple episodes ago, she realizes and goes to Sylvie and asks her to take her someplace where she could find out. And she finds out basically about the whole situation. So then Mobius gets Loki, after he's talked to Loki before for this, about wanting to figure out what the Nexus event. We got so many events now. We got Nexus events, fucking canon events, fucking I don't even know, main events. It's fucking weird, but nonetheless, basically Mobius has talked to Loki about what happened in the Nexus event, and the reason the Nexus event happened is because of Loki and Sylvie having that romantic chemistry. But basically Loki's in a time loop, and Mobius breaks Loki out of the time loop. That way he could sit there and try to escape with Loki and try to take down the TVA. So Mobius and Loki go out of the time loop, and basically Mobius and Loki are confronted by the TVA. Mobius gets pruned, and that was that part of the episode. Then the TVA take in Loki and try to prune him, and then basically they grab Sylvie after the whole situation, and they go to the Timekeepers. Once they go to the Timekeepers area, the main guard comes and saves Sylvie and Loki for a minute at least, and Sylvie and Loki kill off most of the Minutemen and Women that the supervisor has. Then they even slice one of the Timekeepers' heads off and realize that they're just mindless androids. So basically, after that, Loki is trying to tell Sylvie how he feels about her, but then he gets pruned, and that was the end of the episode. This episode was really good on the storytelling front. I enjoyed it. I'm really enjoying this second viewing of Loki, especially since I'm catching up again because the season 2 starts. Just found out today that this is recording, because it's D23 today, that fucking season 2 is going to start directly after Loki season 1 ended. So I'm really enjoying my rewatch of this, and I'm glad I get to make a video on it for my rewatch. But nonetheless, that was that one. I'm interested for the last 2 episodes. I don't remember. I remember like one part of like the final episode, but that's about it. Like I remember one part. So on that note, though, we will get to season 1, episode number 5 of Loki right about now. Alrighty, on to season 1, episode number 5 of Loki. This episode was about the aftermath of Loki getting pruned. Basically, pruning is not killing anybody, it's basically sending them to a different time, and this specific time is the end of time. And they have like a guardian, like Leviathan thing, that's guarding the area. So Loki meets 3 or 4 actually other Lokis that have been pruned. A Loki named Elias, a kid Loki, an alligator Loki, and then a future Loki. The Loki named Elias betrays all the Lokis in the end, so we don't really get to see him no more. But fucking Sylvie, she ends up pruning herself and heading to try to find Loki and try to also stop the TVA. And she gets helped by Mobius because he got pruned in the last episode as well. So Mobius is driving a car and he picks her up, and basically they try to hatch a game plan of what to do. Loki and the other Lokis go out and they sit there and basically try to sit there and kill the Leviathan. That's Loki's idea. And so they meet up with Sylvie, and they have a moment where they meet all of each other and everything. And basically, Sylvie and Loki have a moment where you could tell their relationship's growing and everything like that. There really wasn't much of this episode. It's basically setting up for the finale, which is the next episode, but fucking the other Lokis want to stay. Well, actually, Sylvie says she wants to enchant the Leviathan thing instead of killing it, because she thinks there's a way to basically enchant it and find something to do with it and shit. But basically, in the end, the other Lokis stay and basically cheer on and help Loki and Sylvie. Mobius goes to the TVA so he could burn it down, quote unquote. And basically, after that, Loki and Sylvie go on and try to enchant the Leviathan. And the old Loki helps them and dies in the process. And then Sylvie and Loki eventually enchant the Leviathan thing. And basically that was it. There wasn't really much else. This is a good episode. I did enjoy it. Not as much as the last one, but still I did enjoy it. I'm excited for the finale of season 1, because then that's gonna get to where I'm caught up for season 2 when it comes out in October. So it's like less than a month, actually. I think it's like October 6th is when it comes out, or when the first episode comes out. So pumped for that, but nonetheless, I really enjoyed this episode. So hopefully the finale is as good as I remember, and let's just get on to it. Let's get on to season 1, episode 6, the finale of season 1. Let's go. Alright. Episode 6 of Loki, the season finale. This episode was about Loki and Sylvie basically talking to He Who Remains, played by Jonathan Majors. I believe that is who plays him, because he plays Kang the Conqueror. So let me see real quick. Let me just double check. Okay. Yep, Jonathan Majors, who plays He Who Remains. And basically, they have a talk with him. He basically tells them, oh, he knows everything they're gonna do, and there's only one of two options. Either they can take his spot as the ruler of the sacred timeline, or they could kill him and free a bunch of other variants of him and cause multiversal war. And basically he tells a story about how he stopped the multiversal war and everything and all that shit. And basically Sylvie wants to kill him, but Loki says it's probably not a good idea and everything like that. So they get into an argument and they start fighting. Basically, once they get done with the fight, Loki stops Sylvie for a moment. He finally tells her how he feels, and basically they kiss. And then Sylvie takes Loki and throws him back into the TVA. Now, while this is going on, Mobius is basically making it to where everybody knows what the fuck happened with the head of the TVA, and basically telling everybody what fucking is going on, and how all these people, that all of them have had lives and just been taken from their lives, and basically been kind of kidnapped into this TVA business and shit. But fucking after that, Loki sits there and he's back in the TVA after Sylvie kills He Who Remains, and basically there's a whole bunch of timelines being created and rifts and everything. And then pretty much Loki tries to tell Mobius and everything, but he's in a different timeline. He got kicked into a different timeline than he was. So there's a different TVA, and it's ran by fucking He Who Remains, or one of the conquerors, I should say, one of the kings. And yeah, that was Loki season 1. Season 2 comes out in, I think, less than 2 weeks now. Not as of this recording. I think that's I think it's more or less when this comes out, it's probably gonna come out in like a week or two. But yeah, that was Loki season 1. I really enjoyed my second viewing. I hope to be able to review season 2. I'll probably review it once I watch every episode. Like, I'll review each episode after I watch it and shit, and then do a season 2 review. But yeah, that was Loki season 1. On that note, thank you guys for watching, and peace. On to next week's Austintheartist review.